Hey, thanks for tuning in to a bonus episode of Greenway Audio Magazine. This week we're going to be joined by comedian, musician, writer, activist, juggler, Ngaio Bealum. You know him from Cooking on High on Netflix, and he's going to be the featured comedian on Thursday night. And then you'll be able to catch him again on Saturday in Rolla at Doobie's for the Missouri Growers Cup, where he's going to be the host. And a little bit later, we'll be joined by Brennan England, founder of the St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge, and Missouri chapter president of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. So let's get started right now and jump into our conversation with
Ngaio Bealum.
I'm a big believer in the idea of the nose knows. If it smells good, it's going to taste good. It's going to make you feel better whenever you're talking about cannabis flower. And one of my favorite ways to shop, and the best way to shop whenever you're talking about the nose knows, is deli style. Blue Sage has one of the biggest selections of deli-style flower in the state, with great deals on bulk flower. They also have the best selection on Blue Sage house brands like Vivid, Buoyant Bob, and Missouri's Own. So come see your buds in Belton, Carthage, Lebanon, St. Louis, and Valley Park, and check out the full menu of deli-style flower and more at cannabisdeli.com. I'm absolutely certain that I'm going to butcher your name, even though I've heard people pronounce it multiple times.
They probably pronounce it multiple ways.
What is the proper pronunciation?
Ngaio Bealum.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you've got a million things going on, but I'm super excited to actually get the chance to talk to you. I've seen your comedy online on YouTube and social media and stuff for, honestly, it seems like over a decade. Like that, is that right?
Yeah, I've been doing comedy a long time, man. Probably as long as you can.
I mean, to be fair, you look, whatever age you happen to be currently, you look as though me and you are probably pretty close in age. So
I don't know, but all your hair is still red, and my hair is turning gray. But black don't.
Oh, you can't see the beard. It's actually white. It's just the lighting, man. Yeah. It's just the lighting. There's after COVID, I was at home with two kids as a single dad for like 8 months.
That'll turn your hair gray.
Oh yeah, man. I went from like full luscious head of hair, nice well-groomed beard, to just everything grown out and so much white that I'm just a few steps away from being Santa Claus. So
nice. I'm Father Spliffmas.
That's awesome. That's actually one of the things that I've noticed in a few of the social media clips and a few of the things I've seen on YouTube and things like that over the years is you talk a lot about parenting and how it relates to cannabis. One of my favorite, not to butcher your joke, but one of my favorite things that I've ever heard you say is there's a lot of benefits to me smoking cannabis for my kids. And you talk about how you're the parent that will take them to any animated film ever. All they have to do is just you find out when it is and tell me what time we're going and
tell me the plot line, man. If the panda knows kung fu, I'm there. If the rat knows how to cook, up, brother. If someone's training a dragon, I'm your man. Let's go.
That's awesome. And what's great about that is like it comes across, and obviously as soon as you say it, you get the audience pop and stuff like that. But the levels to it is that anybody that is a pretty consistent smoker and is a parent, I think really does get that. And for most people, cannabis really does make you a better parent. You know, I grew up, I'm sure you grew up with the parents that were, a little more hands off than what we see nowadays, but also spare the rod, spoil the child kind of mentality. my kids have never been spanked or reprimanded or anything like that. That you have a joke talking about how your kids wish that you would be quiet.
They'd rather have a spanking than a 4-hour lecture for sure.
Dude, I identify with that so hard. I identify with that so hard.
Won't solve your problems.
That's right. And I've literally, so my oldest is almost 16. I've literally had him tell me before, a couple years ago, we had a big, and he got into a bunch of trouble for some shenanigans. For being a teenager, 100%. And we had this big sit down talk. And at one point he's like, "Are you going to ground me?" And I'm like, well, probably. Like we haven't figured out the root of the problem yet. He's like,
"You gotta get to the root of the problem." That's good parenting, B.
He's like, "Man, I feel I'm hungry. Like we started this at lunchtime and it's dinner time." I'm like, well, don't fuck up, man. Don't like. Because my options as a parent, this kid's almost 16. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. Like he's a big kid. My options are like, let's like, and he's about to be to the state where like if we do, he's probably gonna win. So like I can't have someone else take over the house, especially when I'm still paying for things. So my options are like I've got to talk you into never wanting to do this again, and maybe hopefully you pick up some of the stray knowledge along the way. But at the very least, you're like, fuck, I can't get caught because I don't have time to talk to my dad about getting in trouble. I don't have time to get in trouble, man. I got shit to do,
Right.
My kids are too active. They don't have time to get in trouble.
Hey guys, don't forget, MJ Unpacked is happening September 3rd through the 5th at Union Station Hotel in St. Louis. This is the national event where licensed cannabis operators, researchers, and active investors converge to move the industry forward. Register now at mjunpacked.com to save your space, and Greenway listeners get an additional 30% off registration using code Greenway30. That's Greenway30. Go to mjunpacked.com to sign up now.
And we're going to pause for just a moment because Brennan England is hopping in. So we're going to bring Brennan in. Brennan is the founder of St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge and the Missouri chapter president of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Brennan.
All right.
What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, y'all?
How's it going, dude?
Sorry for my stoner tardiness.
Yeah, man. I haven't talked to you in a minute. I appreciate you.
How is the overall state of the cannabis industry in St. Louis these days? Is everything going all right? Is it there ups and downs? Is it still growing pains? It's only been a few years since y'all legalized, right?
Sure. Yeah, no, it's are we recording already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can cut this. So
actually I was about to say this might be some good content. Yeah, so I mean the state of the cannabis industry, I mean I don't know any weed industry that's not up and down, but some of the highlights are that we've already gone through we're past the infatuation phase. We've on a like kind of business level, we've gone through market compression. Market compression is just like basically for those that may not know, is just whenever the margin or the amount of profit that someone can make off of a product, basically it reduces based on competition, and then finally finds a new normal. And so the last year, the market had compressed to a point that cultivators are only making like $3 a gram.
That's crazy.
So as far as the money to be made in the actual industry, it's folks are able to finance a lot. But I mean, if you actually look at a lot of the take home, like dispensaries struggle hard. Vertical is one of the main ways to survive, let alone thrive. And even those businesses are still like selling out to larger corporate entities. So like we have a fraction of the actual like locally owned businesses that had started when the program started. And a lot of people would say that was by their design. They would say, yeah, I was building something to sell. I was a Missourian. But real talk, the way that these laws are written now, especially for the micro license program, which is a joke, but the micro license program, you don't even have to be a Missourian. So it's like if you want to get one of the licenses that's supposed to be for our, you know, less
For the
supported,
local.
more in need type of patrons that don't have access to corporate dollars, people can swoop in from other states to do that shit. And there are firms that have already been outed by major news networks that have been hawking and scouting from other states to latch into our program once they figured out all the loopholes. So it was
Not
built
just
with a
other
lot.
states. There were a few in state as well.
Oh yeah, I think it's really yes, and I think it's just for me. I emphasize the other states just because there's a lot of assumption around, having to be a Missourian to be part of the program, or, even thinking that a lot of people haven't even thought at that scale that businesses from outside the state could even get involved in that way. It's like, oh yeah, we've got Walmart, we've got, people we've
It's
got
an
Walmart,
interesting.
AT&T, all types of big businesses that those corporate heads are now part of the weed business on a national scale.
It's an
I will say
interesting
on the
thing. It's
sorry,
an
go ahead,
interesting
sir.
transition because for the longest time, cannabis was the best decentralized business model in the world. Right?
That's
No
right.
one wanted to be too big. It's supposed to be a bunch of smaller growers and the moms and the pops and the cats like that. And everybody sees the money. All these big businesses see the money and they want to come in. A lot of times they end up just losing all their money and shutting everything down. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But I hope that the locals can stay strong and avoid some of this rampant capitalism that's going on these days.
I,
Sure. Well, I mean, with the scale of quality, then quality goes down. And, a lot of these big businesses, especially like that have invested in other sectors, are some of them are trying to take a last gasping breath just to like try to grab into something else while out, whether it's an alcohol company or whatnot, while other people are just, trying to get in the bubble before it bursts. And there are plenty of people that are just opportunizing on the ability to get financing or get funding through
Mm-hmm.
entities that they just plan on pump and dumping anyway. They're like, well, I don't care that this business is going to go bankrupt. I get to buy another vehicle and feed my family for 4 years, and then I'll figure something else out.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to do it, I suppose.
Shit.
Weed isn't going anywhere, right?
Right.
Weed will be here forever.
Right.
Businesses come and go all the time, but cannabis will be here forever. I think one of the challenges, a lot of what do you say, the city councils and the organizing people, they want to treat it like a cigarette when it's more like a fancy wine or pipe tobacco. You know what I mean? Or a fancy cigar or a microbrewery. That's really the model people should be looking at as opposed to just coming in and buying a bag of Marlboro Green or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think,
right.
yeah, and the tough thing
Well,
about it, always like historically being more of a craft industry in general, is that, I mean, it's either been craft or cartel, and it's like, I think that the other side of the craft model is kind of more of the cartel model that these larger corporations are taking from that stance, which it becomes about quantity over quality. You've got old vines, or you got vines of old growth of grapes that have been growing on the West Coast for over a century that are being ripped out by new weed grows that look like American companies that are actually propped up by Chinese investment. And
interesting.
that's most of it is done just actually, some of it's done not even for the weed itself, but for the land. And as much as we want to maintain the craft integrity of the plant, it's going to commodify, and there are people out there, unfortunately, that are just like, shit, weed is weed. I don't care. Give me the $20 bag. I don't care if it's pretty. I don't care if it's this. I just need that budget brand so that I can go home and drink it like my Bud Light, or smoke it like I drink my Bud Light.
There will always be that. There's always been, like, if you walk through New York smells like brown weed all day. It smells like weed, but it doesn't smell like great weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think you have to find a balance of that, because for everybody who drinks a Budweiser, there's a couple people who drink a Sierra Nevada or whatever local fancy craft brewer you have out there, and that's just one of those things. You have to find the balance, and we'll see how it goes, man. I mean, when you go to a party, of course you bring a case of Bud Light or whatever, but when you're at home, you pull out a nice Anchor Steam, or I don't know any of the good local St. Louis beers. You guys know which ones I can drink.
I'm about to say you can know. Well, I'll help you out when you get here, bro.
Yeah, man.
Kind of getting back to what we were talking about a second ago, with the event that you've got coming up this next Saturday, the 21st, we've got the comedy.
Wait. The third, that shows Thursday, the 20th.
Thursday, sorry.
The 21st.
Sorry, yeah. So coming up next Thursday, you're going to be in St. Louis for the Best Medicine Comedy and Dinner Fundraiser. St. Louis was hit by tornadoes a while back. It heavily impacted North St. Louis and the downtown area. And I know we've had a collection of businesses that are going to be together, working together to make a special evening, kind of a cool event that we haven't really seen before. And at the end of it, I believe 60 or 80% of all the profits, we'll double check on the number, but the benefit is to go back into the community. It's a unique event. There's going to be consumption, but the biggest headline is that you're going to be in St. Louis at the event. And then following that, you'll be in Rolla. So you're going to be in Missouri for a short stint. Tell us a little bit about the event and what it's going to be like and what we can expect being out there.
Food, dinner, and weed. Those are the first three things. We got some really good local comics. I will be headlining, of course. They tell me I'm pretty funny. I might even have some new jokes that you haven't seen online. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. And it's just good for the community to come together, man. I think that's one of the beautiful things about the cannabis plant. It brings communities, it brings people from all different walks of life together so that we can hang out and support each other. You guys had some horrible tornadoes, and the current government structure is not as efficient as they could be or as they used to be. And so we all have to reach out and we have to help each other and we have to do what we can. And I'm a big fan of what's the old Public Enemy song? Party for your right to fight, as opposed to fighting for your right to party, which is the Beastie Boys, which is also good. But anytime you can come together and do good while feeling good, that's what it's all about for me, right? If you remember the Seattle Hemp Fest, they used to call it a protestable because it was a protest, but it was also a festival. And so this is one of those things. It's you call it I don't even know what you would call it, a probenadryl. I don't know. That sounds like a drug. Ask your doctor if probenadryl is right for you. So that's the important thing, man. So we're gonna, anytime you have good food and good weed and good people, that's pretty much a good time. And if you can do it while supporting the community and giving back, that's even better. And so shout out to our sponsors. I don't have the list in front of me. Shining them, and I could pull it up, but if I pull it up, my video might go away somewhere.
No, you're good, man. I know some of the sponsors. The main collaborative putting it on as a joint effort initiative with some of our St. Louis local businesses, including St. Louis Cannabis Club, which we've got Brennan England joining us. Some of the other partners and sponsors: Suede, Sense, Clover, Timeless, Robust, Callisto, Callisto House, Canna BB. Oh, that's super cool. Oh, yeah. I know what that is.
The Bud and Breakfast.
but yeah, we've got a plethora of great sponsors, both what we would consider corporate cannabis sponsors, as well as ancillary businesses and community businesses like We Can, and
Gateway
so
to Cannabis.
Gateway to Cannabis. And then I know that the dinner is going to be done by Food Magic, I believe, and then
Nice.
there's going to be
Watch me
some
make it disappear. I'm gonna make that sandwich disappear.
some edible drinks from Bar Apothecary. So
Nice.
we and music and community environment and stuff. And one of the cool things that I think kind of ties into this and goes to what you just said, cannabis is, in my opinion, a much more community focused even activity and thing that consumable than alcohol or anything like that. The thing that I've always said is you don't go somewhere and start passing around your Miller Lite or your Bud Light or anything like that. And I think that's kind of it's a little more gross, but I think that's kind of why the cannabis community comes together a little more than we see in other places. It's just because there's a built-in spirit of like sharing and support, and I think that one person that really gets that is Brennan. And so Brennan, I know you've got some things coming up and you're involved with Brahma and the joint effort initiative. Can you tell us a little bit about putting the event together and bringing everybody to the community to be able to support and give back?
Damn right. Yeah, so most of us that are in the cannabis community are impact driven in some way that are in a place of leadership, because you got to be able to both take lead and take licks if you want to take a space in leadership in the cannabis community, not just in the industry. Because most of us that are feeling this now that are still around are people that we did this type of thing before it was legal. We fought in our own ways, or we've used our own voices to get it here, and used our own action in our own body. I'm the type of person that I'm just kind of impact driven in general, where it's like, if I ain't gonna do it if I don't know why, and it's like the why's got to matter. And so I got a message from Sarah Setti, and she messaged me. I think I might have even literally been on a roof with my son, my 14-year-old son. If you go to Joint Effort, STL.org, you'll see some footage, and my boy is with me. Got a call from her saying, "Hey, I know we do a lot of community stuff already, and I see you doing a lot of stuff for the tornado already." And she was helping. All of us were kind of helping in silos, and she's like, "Is this our time to group up, or is this our joint effort?" And so joint effort was really formed out of the need to act, which is, for me, as a trauma response, the way I deal with trauma is that I lead. The way I deal with crisis is that I lead, and it's a gift of clarity in times of darkness, And so, with the St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge, people have trusted us to be safe stewards of the cannabis community and the cannabis culture, and to guide it through different stages of legitimacy and legality, et cetera. Some other L word, because I like to talk that way. And the all along the way, it itself, we have been an effort. We have been an initiative. This has been a crisis. The cannabis the what's it called? Like the restrictions on the plant. I just got high, so my words aren't. Yeah, there you go. My words aren't wording. I said I didn't want to get you guys dizzy, but I just realized that I didn't have power on my phone. So this is gonna be a real official thing. I'm gonna walk while I'm going to get my power. But the biggest part is
like an Aaron Sorkin movie. It's the walk and talk.
Right. Now you just got to put a really weird filter on. So I've got, we already were doing this type of shit in different ways. I've done activism and initiative work since, I don't know, I helped with legalization type shit. And so part of it is built and bred into the cannabis community that we are initiators. We are people that act and serve. And so all of us were already out.
I try to remind people all the time that Cannabis
Sorry.
legalization started as a social justice issue, right? That's how I got into it. We want to
Exactly.
keep people from going to jail. I grew up in San Francisco in the 80s during the height of the AIDS crisis, and people realized that cannabis had medicinal uses and it helped people have a better quality of life when they were extremely sick. And that's how we got into legalization. And I think in this rush to capitalize and to make money off of it, some people have forgotten that it's supposed to be about social justice more than it's supposed to be about anything else. It's supposed to be about bringing communities together. It's supposed to be about
Well,
working together.
it's funny you should say that because, well, I'm also the state director for Minorities for Medical Marijuana. It's the largest minority advocacy organization for the cannabis industry in the world, spanning 30 different states and 3 different countries. The M4MM is an organization that we make sure that Black and brown folks stay the fuck out of jail for the reasons we never should have been there, and that we work
Amen.
for our rightful place in the industry. Every year the industry grows, but our involvement doesn't. So I used to talk about this stat, and we made around 4% of the industry. Well, since the industry's bigger and our involvement's not, that shit's down almost like 2%, bro. It's ridiculous. And so I focus a lot on helping folks find ways for, like Brandon was calling these different brands that are ancillary businesses. There are so many other ways to touch the plant. Point being, yes, Ngaio, I'm right there with you. And that's actually part of the reason why Sarah reached out to me is that I'm the state director for I'm a member of Black Men Build, a radical Black male empowerment organization that has chapters in, I'm losing count of how many states. It used to only be 3 and it's over 5 now.
Yeah.
But Black Men Build is who I was representing out on the streets whenever we were getting initiative work done. Black Men Build is the nonprofit that's receiving the funding. Brandon, they're getting we are getting 80% of the funding that's going straight into tornado relief initiatives. We're looking at this in really dynamic ways because the ripple of this type of crisis hits in so many different ways. And so the ways to empower people, not just treat an issue, but the way to empower people out of these type of scenarios has to be holistic and ongoing. And so instead of just booking or scheduling or getting people that are contractors to come and fix buildings, for instance, it's a valuable opportunity to create trade programs that are offered in areas that are already desperate, not the people, but the places are desperate of any type of resources for education, healthy food, etc. And the tornado hit primarily above the north side of Delmar, which has been covered by BBC as one of the most racist real estate project experiment spaces in the country, where the segregation line is extremely thick. Most of north of Delmar and all the way to the northeast part of the the city got fucked up. And it's mostly Black and brown folks that are already in struggling positions, that are already in food deserts. And so there were people, I'm blessed to live in a comfortable situation right now. And I had rooms to offer people. It was hard to get people to house them or to bring them down here to be here because they also had transportation needs. Most of their family was still having crisis on the north side. So many factors. But anyway, Black Men Build is out on the streets. We live in those communities, making sure that it's legitimately our neighbors are being given care and being given supplies. And the gap between the city and the state support and what the actual neighborhoods needed was drastic. It was dramatic. It was terrible. And so there were no resources on the street, power out for a week at least, and people running on generators, et cetera. And so this has been one of the biggest crises that St. Louis has seen in its modern history. There was a larger tornado that technically hit the city, or one that was as big back in the 50s or something, but it didn't do this much damage. And so I know I'm like rambling here. We're going on a high ride. I'm gonna land it.
Sativas
But
for the win.
bro, it's a very, yeah, and obviously it's a passionate and a sensitive thing, right?
Yeah,
Because
man.
it's like we're talking, like, one of the first things that I said whenever it happened is I said, our comedy show is still happening tonight. What's happening in the city is no laughing matter.
Mhm.
Anyone that needs refuge, that needs safety, or you need support or good energy, please just come for free to Cola tonight, for our show, where we heal through the best medicine. And so there really is a deeper tie. There really, it could be poetically and metaphorically connected in so many different ways, as much as it has been an intentionality. Joint effort is supporting Black Men Build, who is supporting one of the most at need areas in the city, for the supplies and the support that we continue to need as the city figures out how to measure that gap and meet all of those needs. And the comedy show is a really great way to bring light into a dark space
Amen.
where people are grieving. We are, and people are recovering in a way that this type of thing really shows, how we can use our gifts, in different ways in times of need. So that was much more of a less tangential way to button all that up. You know, B, if this is going to be short form, go ahead and take that last 20-second clip or 10-second, whatever that was. And yeah, my involvement for the night, I'm going to be a co-host. And obviously I can talk. And then I'm also going to be running a bud bar where I'll be running some samples from different
Let's talk about
brands.
St. Louis weed. I mean, listen, I appreciate all the community building and all the doing good, which is always great. I'm always here for that. I'm always here for building community. I'm always here for uplifting people. I'm also here to smoke some weed, man. And I'm from California, so I like to talk a little shit. I've
Fuck
been to
yeah.
Kansas City and smoked the weed out there, and it has definitely gotten better in the past 3 years since I was there. But I haven't tried any of your St. Louis flavors yet. Is there something I should be looking for? What do you guys like to smoke? You guys go for the big cushes? Is kush still a thing? Cookies? What are y'all out here on? You're on this train wrecks. What are y'all out here on? Durban
Yeah, well,
poison?
well, the St. Louis, or the St. Louis and Missouri, and southeast Illinois or southern Illinois weed scene is actually kind of established, and we have one of the best growing climates next to Cali for good weed, and so, like, even our outdoor slabs,
Y'all grow
and so
some
could
outdoor. Hey man, can
yeah,
you find me some? Because outdoors my shit. I'm
oh
from Northern
yeah,
California, so if you got a good sun grown, I think that's what they call it now to be fancy. If you
yep,
have a good sun grown uh, strain or whatever, cultivar, a sun grown cultivar.
yes sir. So what's your style? What's the type of style you like, man? So you like citrusy? You say good?
I like
So it
good.
can be
I like
lemon, it can be
That's the thing.
gas.
I've been a judge for the Emerald Cup and the High Times Cup a couple times. The Emerald Cup is tough to judge. It's awesome, but I really like it. I like it when the grower does their thing, man. And you can tell that it was grown with love. It was cured with care and affection. It's got nice flavors. It's got nice effects. I'm not one of those cats who's like, oh, it's got to be 20% THC, because that's all bullshit. Uh,
Right,
it's got to
for
have
sure.
a good terp profile. It's got to have a really nice flavor. I like a smooth smoke. And whatever it is, it is. If it's supposed to make me
Check,
kind of
check,
jumpy and
check.
want to dance, then I'm here for that. If it's supposed to chill
Hell
me
yeah.
out and want me to sit on the couch and watch a movie for a minute, I'm here for that. If it makes me
Hell
horny,
yeah.
hopefully someone else will be here to help.
I was about to say, I'm gonna make sure I stand back.
Uh,
No, I
I mean,
can't,
you're
I'm
kind of cute,
already,
but I don't really like your
nah,
haircut. Um,
weak. Yeah, I can't fuck with the lemony shit. I'm too hyperactive already. Some shit will make me ramble. I'll speak like,
you know,
I'll foam
uh,
at the mouth.
I had a train wreck. One of my homies gave me a train wreck landrace Thai sativa crossbreed, a hybrid one time, and that shit was active. It was active. It was either like, I'm going to do my taxes and clean my house, or I'm going to sit here and have a quiet panic attack. So I would just get
Right.
up and do things, and people would come over and they'd be like, "Hey man, let's smoke this one." I'd be like, "Okay, but if you came to hang out, then you're going to leave the house. You're not really going to want to hang out." They're like, "No man, I came to kick it." I'm like, "All right, we can smoke it," and then we smoke it, and then 15 minutes later, dude, I'm supposed to mail this letter. I forgot I had to go to the post office. I got to run all these errands. I got to do all this shit. I was like, "Man, go get your shit done," because I smoked it too. So now I'm gonna clean the dishes and apply
Well,
for a grant, maybe do some painting and all the stuff I'm supposed to do.
Hell yeah! I just
Light
realized
a
that my
joke.
girlfriend used my grinder, and I was like, oh yeah, that's all that. I was like, that was that speedy weed.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, you smell that citrus? If it smells like cleaning products, it smells like pine and citrus. Be ready
yeah,
to do things. That's what
I
I
wake
always
up and smoke couch lock, man. I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, let me calm down.
be calm down.
Yeah, but no, man, I'll have some sun-grown gas for you, sun-grown, black-owned. We got some really good growers in St. Louis, man, and like our craft scene is really on fire, and that's kind of was my
Yes.
point. Like it's in the soil here. And fun fact is that Missouri used to be the second largest hemp producer next to Kentucky, and
Right?
so yeah, because this is one of the best areas to grow that shit, and
You
so
got good.
good dirt, baby.
The so as will be a surprise to absolutely no one, with me wearing a cheetah print cardigan, I'm really into fruity shit. So my all-time favorite
I was
cultivar
gonna say cat piss, but apparently you like the fruity one.
yeah, I like the fruity shit. My
I'm
all-time
weak.
favorite cultivar is strawberry banana grape. It's
Okay.
Oh,
it's not really sold in any dispensaries or anything. Nobody grows it commercially, but that's my absolute favorite. And one of my favorite people that grows out near me happens to be a commercial fisherman, and so all of his homegrown is grown in catfish shit, and that's the way that he, you know, composts and recycles and stuff like that is catfish guts and fish
that's
shit
that
and
old
stuff
hippie
like that.
style. You throw a
It,
dead fish under your plant, man, and
yep.
let all that nitrogen do its thing.
It's
Does it
super
does.
good, super tasty, delicious. And as far as stuff that you can pick up in a dispensary, some of the people that are sponsoring the event have some crazy good stuff. Robust is I don't know if they're still certified, but they were certified organic. They do IPM pest control with other pests and
Have you been
insects
there,
and stuff
Brandon?
like that. I haven't been out there.
It's
I've
what
seen
it
it a
is.
couple different times.
It's one of the nicest grows I've ever been to, man. And they play
Set up a
music to
tour.
the hell yeah. They set up music for the plants when nobody's in there.
Yeah.
You open the door and the plants are like jamming out to party music. It's like hell no.
They've got some really talented and really cool growers and stuff too.
Yeah,
And then obviously,
Just listening to Nelly. Is it all Nelly and Tech Nine? It's not
I'm weak.
Missouri.
I'm weak.
Cheryl
No, now
Crow.
it's
Shit.
we gotta update you. Now it's Smino. I mean, we got new guys now. And no,
Smino's
in sexy
blowing
red,
up,
bro.
dude.
In sexy red.
Sexy Red and
Let's not
Smino.
forget.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. She was on the she was on the Drewski episode whenever he was out here.
Yeah, yeah,
Brennan's just like, yeah.
yeah.
Sexy Red. I'm surprised there's not a
No,
strain called Sexy Red. We should
I'm
grow
sure
one.
there is shit.
I had it,
It's a
and
cross
then she.
between Glorilla Glue.
Weak. Oh my God.
No, you do not criticize weed puns, sir. That was
Oh my
fantastic.
God.
Glorilla Glue.
That was
No,
the
I'm saying
best.
I'm weak. I'm weak.
That was
shit
the
was
best
on
dad
point.
joke I've heard in so long.
God damn.
Weed pun dad jokes. That is, and that brings us back to the main topic that we were at. That's the kind of comedy you can expect. Is weed pun dad jokes. That's what you're getting for your $50. Dinner, bud bar,
you'll get more
infused
than that. You'll get more
beverages,
than that.
music, and weed pun dad jokes.
Right.
I don't know that I expect or need any more than that, sir.
Who are the other comics on the bill, B?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up their names right now and make sure that I got them right because I'm like that where I'm too high to remember everybody's name at once.
I
I'd be like,
understand.
I'll list everybody. I'll list everybody, and then there'll be that one person where I'll kind of stutter on their name, and then they'll be like, "Hey man, I got up on my head about that. Do you really want me on the show?" I'm like, "Hey man, I thought you were funny." Like, no, we're all actually really depressed, and this is the way we get over it. Oh, okay.
Do you really, man? I have actively avoided saying Ngaio Bealum so many times in this episode just because I did not want to mess up on the name. So anybody else, like, just ride it out, man. Like, we're all here. We're all trying.
So
you know,
you could say Ari Kondabolu.
Right. Oh yeah. So okay. So for real though, I got him right. So
you could say Chiwetel Ejiofor. You could say, if you could say
God.
Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky, you could say Ngaio Bealum.
Damn.
See,
Engelbert Humperdinck.
I can say it. It's just that I have to make sure, because I get in my head. See, it's the social anxiety. It's the social anxiety.
Just admit.
Lean in, baby.
Lean in.
Yeah, but no. So we do have some other dope comics. We actually have some award-winning comics that just recently won like St. Louis Best of.
Oh, nice.
Shit like. Yeah, we've got some great comics for the night. All of these are comics that we've featured as headliners as part of our monthly showcase at the Cole every third Friday. This third Friday, if somebody buys a joint effort ticket or a joint effort comedy show ticket, they get into Best Medicine this Friday for free. So if you want to come next Thursday, if you want to support the cause next Thursday, buy a ticket. If you're available this Friday, or send your mama or your cousin or your friends on your behalf, I will give them a ticket for you. Show me your ticket for our joint effort fundraiser comedy show and dinner next week, and you can get into our comedy show this Friday for free. The comics we got. First one is one of our hosts, Kyle William. He actually is the coordinator for our show. Veteran, funny ass white guy that has jokes that are very heady, crass, and dark. It's fucking hilarious. Which, is it trendy right now for dark humor? I just want to know, because
yes, it is. Dark humor is making a comeback, and offensive humor is going mainstream again.
I've been crawling the wall sometimes on our open mics. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Listen, there's a fine line between being edgy and just being kind of a dick. So
right. Kyle will get upset there sometimes and be like, yeah, so
for the young kids, it's hard for them to find the balance.
Right. I didn't think we'd have to give like a disclaimer before our comedy shows, but it's been there. But but yeah, so just I can get out, I can get in there. But yeah, so the comics, other than this funny ass dude we got with us, we got Kyle William, we got Shantae Love, who has just I'm gonna run through them before I get on the ramble. We got Shantae Love, we got Tonario Brown, funny enough motherfucker, and Precious J. All hilarious local comics that have all had their headline time in other spaces that are gifting us with their gift of funny. And it's going to be it's a sweet lineup for you, man. We've got you set up.
All headliner show, man. I love that. That's pressure too. Like, now I got to follow all those motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, you got to show the fuck up.
I'm ready. Well, I got. I'll dress up.
I know. I saw on the YouTube. You got it. You're a funny motherfucker. But yeah, and the comedy scene in St. Louis is on fire, man. And I'm just thankful we've been able to host. We've hosted over 60 local comics over the last 4 years with the Best Medicine Showcase. And we've only had 2. We've only been able to showcase. You'll be our second out of town feature that we've done on purpose. So, hey, man, much love. Welcome.
I appreciate the honor and the opportunity, and I really look forward to helping the cause and kicking it in the St. Louis cannabis community. Yes,
you can come check out the Cola Lounge.
I can't wait to check out the Cola. I would love to tour a bunch of your lounges, the Cola Lounge, any other spot. We're going to be at Atomic, right? So moved from the church and moved to Atomic.
Yeah, we're at Atomic by JMO. It's down on Manchester in the Grove. It's easy to jump to off the highway. And the Grove itself has all types of good restaurants and stuff where someone could spend a whole day there if they wanted. So it's a good drop-in spot if someone gets into town early. There's plenty to do right around there. It's a nice area.
Nice. Good to know.
Yup.
Good Taste Edibles has something wild dropping soon, and you're going to want to be ready for it. They took their fan favorite Funfetti Crispy, you know, the one that tastes like a party, and they leveled it all the way up. Coming soon, the Fruit Fetty 1000 milligram Mega Dosed Crispy. Same sweet, fruity, marshmallowy goodness, but now with a ridiculous 1,000 milligrams of THC. This isn't background edible energy. This is main character energy. Perfect for high tolerance folks or sharing with the crew. Just don't say we didn't warn you. Keep your eyes peeled. Fruit Fetty Mega Crispies are dropping soon.
So you're gonna be in Missouri for a couple days. You'll be stopping in. You'll be here Thursday for the fundraiser.
Yeah.
Friday, be trying to track down different cannabis dispensaries and cultivation, and swinging by the St. Louis Cannabis Club Cola Lounge to check that out. And then Saturday, you'll be on your way out to Rolla for the Missouri Growers Cup at Doobie's. And so that's the third iteration. You're used to hosting. You've hosted Netflix's Cooking on High. Yeah. So you've had experience with this. You've done the Emerald Cup. You've done other cups in the past. What are you excited about with your tour of Missouri and with the event, and then getting to go to the Growers Cup and everything as well?
This will be my first time in St. Louis since approximately 1991, when I was out there for the International Jugglers Association Convention and Festival. So I'm really looking forward to seeing. What's that?
For real, for real?
For real, for real.
That's your shit? For real.
Yeah, man. I'm the 1994 People's Choice Award winner, International Jugglers Association. I got a trophy on my wall, dog. But come on, dog.
Side quest, side interview. We need a whole nother interview about that shit.
I'm well-rounded. I'm a Renaissance man, which means I'm a Beyonce fan.
Weak. Take chisel to the stone, my man.
Weak. So I'm really looking forward just to catching the vibe in St. Louis and to catching the weed vibe and to seeing. I like to hang out with people when I come to towns that are new to me, and it's pretty much new to me. It's been 34 years since I've been there, so. And
that's a whole new town.
Last time. So yeah, man. So I like to walk around. I like to see people. I like to try the weed.
Hey, if you get time, really I think we talked about it. If you get time, we could do a meet and greet at the Cola.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. And I don't think I'm leaving town till Monday, so I'll have that Sunday pretty much to myself.
Cool.
You'll have to recover from hosting the Growers Cup.
A little CBD, a little coffee. I'll be good.
A little CBD.
A little CBD, man. Take the edge off.
Now, on the opposite side of, well, not the opposite side of the coffee, but on the opposite side of the CBD, House of Kush has cannabis-infused coffee here in Missouri, and it's delicious.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds great, because weed and coffee is the smart man's 8-ball.
Facts.
They're at the same time.
It's there at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, man, I can't wait to just to catch a vibe, man, and surf the wave, and find the gateway.
Oh, he did the thing. He did the thing where you tie it in, you make the pun. I love that.
Rolling,
that was one.
Oh, that's all right, man. You can tell you haven't been here since '91.
Yeah, right.
I think about it over and over again. These St. Louis references are very timely. Everyone under the age of 30 definitely knows what you're talking about. My 15-year-old would be like, "What?"
I'm sure your kids love Nelly.
They do, but only because they've seen the Ashanti Nelly drama TV show.
Right.
Luckily,
he played it on Guitar Hero. That's how my kids know all the old punk rock. How do y'all know the Ted Kennedys? Oh, it was on Guitar Hero.
He did get into Nelly a couple years ago, ironically by way of Saint Lunatics, because he heard Batter Up for the first time and was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, we gotta teach you country grammar." So
did you tell him that was the D unit?
No, man. Saint Lunatics, in their own right, Saint Lunatics, in my opinion, significantly better than G Unit.
G Unit, Saint Lunatics.
Hey, careful what you say, Brandon. 50 will come for you, bro.
That's
I don't have a big enough social media. Twitter. I don't have a big enough social media presence for him to care about me. But I
don't know, man. Go ahead.
One quick side opinion. as far as the G Unit goes, because G Unit had a ton of people that were super talented, but Kiwan and Murphy Lee were incredibly talented, and their solo careers did not go the way that they should have. But I think a lot of that just goes down to the way that they structured things. Especially
man. You never
they
know.
just started
Man.
treating
It's a crapshoot.
they started treating hip hop like groups the way that they were treating boy bands around the same time, and I think that was the main problem. But
Could be right.
just from a marketing perspective,
there's all types of great artists that are totally current though. Shout out to Smino. Shout out to T Dub O. T Dub O is actually doing some promo with us for the show. Nice. Yeah, he'll be on. He's definitely always on the streets, always putting his hands and in heart in places that need it, and speaking from his heart too. And Tef Poe and Jerry. Shout out to Jerry. I'm doing all my. I'm like, hey, hold on, hey, shout out to this person. But no, for real though, we've got so many talented artists. Gold Giraffe. So many talented MCs in St. Louis right now that are speaking from different angles of the community that are like, out here celebrating and also telling the story in real time and like are speaking at the podium for the activism type shit. So
beautiful.
Which that's why we're here, because I was going to give a really cheesy but in point that this is what joint effort does, is that we see deep, we roll tight, and we burn strong for the community, because there's so much you can do, but there's so much you can do.
You got to do it. Start where you're beautiful.
And for some of the older people like myself that aren't as young and hip as Brennan, Midwest Avengers just dropped a new album. So,
dude, hey, Midwest Avengers, like they would totally be on that list for me. They've shot I'm pretty sure 2 music videos at the Cola.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, they're all homies, and they said shout out to Paint Lewis that's coming up. If you want to get into hip hop culture, into the breathing art culture of St. Louis, Paint Lewis comes up every fall, where we have graffiti and mural artists from all over the world, dead ass, that come down and paint what is the Guinness Book World Record, largest fucking mural wall, graffiti wall in the world.
When is that?
It's on the 20-something. If you give me like 10 seconds, I'll look it up. But it's in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's badass. We've had KRS-One. Last year we had shit. I don't want to overspeak. I can't remember. I'm too high right now. I just remember KRS-One because I was right down. He came down into the pit because the speakers were messing up for a second. Jumped down and started freestyling in the fucking crowd with everybody. He said, "Take your selfie. Take your selfie." Everybody took selfies. It was great.
Paint Lewis is on August 30th this year. It's going to have the Odd Couple, The Fly DX, Crucial, Trackstar. There's a huge list. The event goes on for a couple days, but the big concert, the big kickoff is Saturday, August 30th, 9 p.m. Super cool event. It's been going on for 20 years.
Yeah, the first happened in 1997.
Nice.
So 30 years. Yeah.
It was revived in 2001. It was revived in 2001. So yeah, it's been going steady since 2001.
Okay.
There you go.
So that's I was close.
Good.
But super cool, really cool people. I got introduced to it a couple years ago, and had a chance to be down there the last couple years. My kids have gotten to paint on the walls and stuff like that. So it's one of the coolest events that is truly just a St. Louis thing because of the river walls and stuff. So I know you have just a very tight window to be able to kind of hit us with a sign off. I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you and thank you so much for joining us today. Ngaio Bealum, check him out. Netflix's Cooking on High, YouTube specials on social media, and next week, Thursday at Atomic by JMO. Tickets are $50. The proceeds go to benefit the community. It's a joint effort initiative. Some of St. Louis's most active community and collaborative cannabis brands. And then he's going to take a break, and then you can see him again on Saturday in Rolla at Doobies for the Missouri Growers Cup. Did I miss anything? What else do we need
Follow
to pitch?
me on all the social media, NGAIO420.
NGAIO420. Thank you so much for your time.
Other Ngaios.
Like I said, it's the weed dad jokes. This is the level of comedy that you guys are. This is what you can expect.
Mr. Weed Dad, that's me. I'm your weed uncle.
Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you, and I look forward to the next time we get to talk, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, indeed, man. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother. See you then.
So, we got a lot of information about the best medicine comedy show and dinner. But one of the things that you touched on earlier was Black Men Build being one of the recipients from the proceeds of the show. How are those being used?
Yeah, so the primary organization receiving proceeds, the only one receiving them for support reasons is Black Men Build. Gateway to Cannabis is managing the 20% that's left for expenses and operations, while the rest is being donated to Black Men Build, who have been establishing programs. Both for one of the biggest programs is the on the street. Originally was the on the street everyday support booths or hubs that were set up on corners. That were even moving during the day as they got different resources in different parts of the city. We would announce different spaces. The city actually ended up eventually, after maybe the first 2 weeks, I don't know, it's all a blur, started shutting those down. And that, as they were providing resources, I think they should have done a little bit more of a gap analysis first on exactly what they had to offer and what the community was offering before they just were like, hey, you guys don't have to do that anymore. But the proceeds are going to the programming that's being put in place for supporting families that have been affected, that are all in our directory of families that are still needing support with housing reconstruction and for or rehoming completely, for support with any of their basic needs. We have an entire forum. If they go to joineffort.stl.org, you can go through if you need resources, if you are offering resources or a trade of some sort, or if you're a sponsoring organization looking at helping to give us funds, you can specify what exactly your needs are. So a good example is that there was one lady that was on the forum that she her power supply had been ripped away from her house by the storm. Her house is made of brick. When the power supply was ripped away, the power went out. She's losing all of her. She lost all of her food. Now it still continued to rain, so now rain is getting in. Now mold is an issue. She already is elderly with a respiratory issue. So there's all these compounding things that are happening. She gets a notice from the city, hey, your house is going to be condemned if you don't get this fixed. Well, she needs her power back on. She can't get her power back on until the brick is fixed. And so Ameren won't turn on her power yet. The city's about to shut her down. The first thing that she needs is someone to fix the brick. And so on a case-by-case basis, house by house, family by family, people have acute, very specific needs. You can't just show up on the corner with bottles of water, tampons, and fucking non-perishable food and a caterer and a news crew, and then think that that's enough to really do what people need. You know, one of the families that me and my son helped, if you go to the if you go to joineffort.stl.org, in the reel, you can see a lot of the work we were doing out there. And one of the families that we helped with a roof, we were at the hub on the corner up by O'Fallon Park. And a lady comes up and she says, oh, you're here to help. She was actually working with a church right next to us. She's like, oh, you're here to help? my sister needs help with her roof. At that point, we had no roofers on site. At this point, it was just people were dropping off tarps, people were dropping off hardware. Had businesses like my buddy from Little Yeti Painting that showed up with his entire service and utility truck to do carpentry work and anything he could. But went to her house, me and my son and a crew of us, and 3 stories high, split level on the roof, no access from outside the house. The only way to get up on that thing is from bridging yourself across from a neighboring property if you can get into it, or on a 40+ foot ladder. 40-foot ladders are not standard. They're not sold in any hardware store. You've got to order those son of a bitches, and they cost $5,000. So you'll see on some of my videos, I was me like, hey, we're at someone's house that needs help. We need a 40-foot ladder. They're half a G. Who can help us? I can't just go buy one. Who can show up with one? First, we had someone immediately message me, here's $600 for a 40-foot ladder. And it just struck me like, it hit me like a gong, the waves that people were like seeing what we were doing on the ground, but knowing that maybe they didn't have access to what I did, which is part of it was the ability to get on that roof. I took for granted that my son and I's confidence with heights and like that we climb trees and stuff and the right footwear, that we were comfortable enough climbing on out the 2nd floor, up the slanted roof, up on top of the 3rd floor, and then climbing down onto the back where the entire roof had been peeled back like the first page of a book. And it's like this heavy tar shit. And so 3 other people that were with me tried to come up after me, couldn't get up because they were scared. It's dangerous as hell. And so me and my son stayed on the roof all day, and they ended up throwing stuff up to us all day while we ripped all of that back what we could, dropped off what we could off the side of the house, and then they threw us up those tarps and the hardware, and we sat there and we tarped up the entire roof because that family was sitting in their kitchen with umbrellas when it was raining because it was still just coming straight down on their head. That was only one step of help for one family in one day of someone like me that was brave enough and available enough and fuck giving enough to do that type of shit. And so the layers of support that are needed are dynamic, they're expensive, and they're complicated. So what Black Men Build is offering is first step was on the ground, giving food and supplies when they were needed, and taking on cases for families into getting a directory. I offered with the design team that made our club management software a surveying and polling source that allowed us to create the joint effort directory where we could start gathering information like we were gathering supplies. And so then Suede was also gathering supplies. Shout out to Lethal, another great, beautiful artist in the scene. Lethal got me connected with them to start picking up their stuff. And I was like, okay, well, we can just be a hub here on the South Side. We can get up there, we can move stuff up there just like a church or anybody else. Then we can pool our resources from the community, from the cannabis community, to come together around this. Obviously, they can go do it themselves. A lot of the calls that I took were just sending people in directions, giving them the right address. I was like, no, you have to go drop this off. I can't even drive right now. I don't have a car right now. And so everything I was doing, I had to do on the grace of someone else's time or my own time or dollar. And so BMB, I knew BMB I'm part of the Black Men Build network. I'm a participating member. And so I knew that that our members also live in those neighborhoods. And so through them and through Action STL, I knew that was a trusted point for us to anchor in with joint effort and really start pouring into them for what resources we were gathering from the cannabis community. You know, Callisto House, Sarah Seti reached out to me. Cannabibi was the first donor or like the first sponsoring organization, nonprofit to take funds for us. And so that was how it happened. That's how it's also funding the event. But that's why, you know, kind of like the intricacy of like the programming that Black Men Build is offering. That was what I was talking about too. Sorry, I kind of got lost. So the other things that Black Men Build are offering, one, there are men's healing circles and community circles on every Monday of the month that are part of their programming that they offer just in general for the wellness of the Black male and female community. This is specifically a program for Black men, and or this Monday night, and also we have a hub out of Better Family Life. Look up Better Family Life. They're an amazing community organization that runs out of the North Side that offers educational resources, meals, daycare programs, clothing needs. It's a holistic, whole life, whole health resources or resource center in a beautiful historic building in North City that focuses on bringing that type of health and nourishment into communities that have specifically been neglected, have been intentionally been neglected. The story of the Red Line, the story of the racist design of city politics are deeply embedded in the story of how this tornado is playing out. There were crews in uniform shirts south of Del Mar, uniform shirts the next day, doing cleanups for people that had insurance and the nicer houses that were still left south of the Del Mar Divide, while just a mile north of that line, there are entire blocks that not only don't have power, but there aren't resources anywhere near to help them or their families. And so the next stage that we're looking at past offering support through Better Family Life and through the community organization, through the community organization with the Mondays, is how we offer trade skill resources for community members to have access to skills that will help them be in a position to be their own sources of income. So job opportunities, but also skill opportunities to help in these situations and spaces that need them, so that your business could be the contractor that is called next for this, or whenever there's an issue that's needed like this, your roofing company could be the company that's called next for something like this. And it's a way to take the darkness of this situation, the pain of it, and press it into a diamond, and continue to create resource wells in areas that have been dried like a desert on purpose. It's not just food deserts. It's not just that you can't get a grocery store for 2.5 miles anywhere north of Del Mar. It's also that every other community asset that's as important as food has been strategically disarmed the same way. When they first made the Red Line, it was agreed that politicians could be hired, Black politicians could be hired and brought into city positions north of the line, but that basic resources like repairing the streets and fire hydrants and mowing unoccupied lots, all of those resources were cut off so that it was allowed to continue to implode in people to land bank on those opportunities. So the biggest thing after, just to bring another kind of button in, is we went from helping people that just needed basic life supplies to survive, to trying to get people safe in their homes, to then trying to have people in the position where they can keep their homes and not be preyed on in these situations where now we have out-of-state developers and resource organizations that are coming in to take your brick or offer you next to nothing for it, or buy your property from you, or your landlord is moving you because he doesn't want to fix the electric ripping off the side. He'd rather take the inflated price of the value of the property and just put you into nowhere. And so we also are giving people legal resources, like through the legal resources for Eastern Missouri, who's an organization here that works making sure that people in hard situations have access to appropriate legal representation. You can go to their website right now and they have their own resource tree, but we made sure we were plugged directly into that. So now the step is keeping people in their homes, keeping them informed, and being able to give them pivot points to maybe even come into a place of ownership where they weren't before. Maybe we can make the situation better for them. And for those of us that have survived the situation, that we can find ways to be beacons to maybe even be able to call people back. And I'll stop speaking for a second. Yay, sativa.
One of the things that you mentioned is kind of the difference between the reaction and the services that were provided initially, and kind of the photo op type of the display that we see with any natural disaster in any place, no matter race, creed, or color. The first initial reaction is show up, water bottles, blankets, news crew, and then a week later act like everything is fixed. And I think that's one of the things that people in the community realize a lot more than people out, whether it's 3 blocks, whether it's 10 blocks, whether it's 100 miles away. Everybody tends to forget very quickly because nobody is there to remind them. And so one of the things that you guys are doing is continuing support, not just from the coverage at the initial like shock and awe aspect, but how do you go to the next step after you've made sure that you're essentially safe? How do you make sure that you're surviving until insurance pays out or until a landlord fixes something, because they're waiting on insurance? Even if they don't have negative intentions, they may be waiting on their insurance. They may be waiting on things like that. In Jefferson City a few years ago, whenever we had a big tornado, there were people that were waiting a year to get their roofs fixed and things like that. There was a massive tornado in DeSoto about 30 minutes south of St. Louis whenever I was in high school. And I remember there were people a year or two later that were still waiting on insurance claims to be filed. And that's the stuff that doesn't get covered on the news. Joplin, 5 years later, half of the businesses were still not there. And those are the types of things that
exactly
that exist in every place. But to then have the systematic divide that you're talking about, the redlining and things that have existed for 40, 50, 60 years, and people have kind of forgotten about it, but it's not just a 50 or 60 year old issue. Even whenever we're talking about things like high-speed internet, the Del Mar divide is basically where high-speed internet stopped up until 5-10 years ago for 90% of the occupants north of Del Mar.
They
could not
rerouted Route 66, like bringing it, like, I know you're bouncing up to the tech, and that's and it wasn't like with high speed was north of Del Mar was whenever a very controversial developer had just gotten a lot of city funds to do development up there for anyway, in a food desert, and he opened a fucking gas station that's now closed. And they also opened up Gravois. So anybody from the St. Louis area, that, like, especially, like, go to a Cardinals game, you've had this happen. Like, you go up Gravois, which is Route 66, all the way out. Everybody through Missouri knows about this road, but you might not just call it. It's either 30 or it's Gravois or it's Tucker. But 30 goes all the way out and south, all the way down to like Hannibal or something. So it's like, it's part of Route 66. Anyway, in St. Louis, up in the city, right at Del Mar, they rerouted. Actually, they've rerouted it twice. They rerouted Route 66 because of the redlining, because they cut off Gravois right there. St. Louis is actually designed to enter through the north architecturally. So, like, when you drive in from the north coming south, you see the cityscape in a whole different way. It all makes sense. It's like, oh, that's a pretty picture, But yes, man, it is a multi-generational opportunity and strategy that's been used, and this is an opportunity to, make this go a way better way than it could for a lot of people because of that.
So one of the things that you guys are doing is continuing support. What are some of the ways that people can help? Who should they be reaching out to offer services, offer funds or anything like that if they're not able to come to the show, if they're not able to show up and purchase tickets? How can they make donations? How can they be helpful outside of that?
the easiest thing to do is go to jointeffortstl.org, and you can make a contribution through the ticket link that's right underneath the intro banner for the page. Or you can go to the bottom if you're wanting to offer a business sponsorship or a service or a resource. We have a form for that at the bottom. Just fill it out, and one of our team members will get back to you, and we'll make sure that that we get you taken care of and get you locked in to where you're really able to see that you're making an impact. If you're wanting to talk to us before you make a monetary contribution, also you can message gateway-to-cannabis@gmail.com. You can DM me at the Cola Lounge on Instagram, or at St. Louis Cannabis Club, and or reach out to yeah, if Brandon's your buddy, have Brandon text me. He has his number. He has my number.
Excellent, man. Some of the sponsors and some of the groups that you guys are working with, a joint effort is made up of St. Louis Cannabis Club, the Cola Lounge, Cannabibi, Callisto House. We Can. Am I missing anybody on the joint effort part?
Yeah, no, that's the joint effort.
And then some of the other sponsors, Sense, Suede, Clover, Timeless, Groon, Robust, Borealis, and then you guys are going to have dinner service by Food Magic, a bar service with infused drinks from Barpothecary, some mixology services, I believe. And then I if I'm not mistaken, the Cola Lounge and St. Louis Cannabis Club are in charge of a dab bar. Is that correct?
We've got a bud bar with all the types of bud. If you want to roll it, vape it, rub it on your skin, drink it, we'll get you. Sarah will be there for that. But yeah, we got you taken care of.
Excellent. It's all going to take place on Thursday, August 21st at Atomic by JMO, 4140 Manchester. Tickets are $50. Jointeffortstl.org for information, to make donations, to get tickets. And if you're able to get tickets today or tomorrow, show up at the Cola Lounge on Friday, and they'll get you hooked up. If you show them your ticket, you get in for free to the comedy show this week, and then next week you'll be able to join us at Atomic by JMO. Brennan, it's awesome. I really appreciate taking the time, and you taking the time and talking to me. I know we kind of get real serious about something that's supposed to be kind of lighthearted and a distraction, but I think all the people that don't know that this is not a fixed solution, it's not a problem that was resolved in the first week or so, like it often feels like. I think the benefit is reminding everybody that it's not just a 1 week issue. It's not just until the next news cycle picks up on something. Right. It's impactful for months, if not years, and it takes organizations and community effort to avoid resetting or recessing progress in neighborhoods and pulling communities backwards whenever things like this happen, because it's really easy to say, gosh, it's going to be a year before we're able to get this done. It's going to be 6 months before we can have this done, and throw up your hands and just take a payout and walk away. What's not easy is to put in the effort and to put in the time and to help the people next to you. And so for all the work that you're doing personally, for all the work that you're helping to organize and getting in place, I want to say thank you, because I'm not there to do it myself, and if I was, I definitely wouldn't be up on top of somebody's roof. I'd be downstairs trying to hand some shit up with a pulley or something, because I'm not getting on top of anything higher than like 8 foot unless there's water underneath it, and then maybe I'll go to 12.
Shit. Hell yeah, man. No, thank you for the thanks. I appreciate it. yeah, I mean, everybody, like I say, there's only so much you can do, but there's so much you can do. And that looks different for everybody in different ways at different times. And you got to honor that. And again, I just want to shout out and give thanks to our comics for doing what they do. Shout out to Ngaio, who's going to bring all of the fucking funny. And then we also have Tonario Brown. We got Shantae Love, Precious J, and Kyle William. And yeah, again, like you said, if people want to want to see our show coming up this Friday, they can get tickets for free for this Friday if they decide they want to come and help us out with the joint effort next week.
Excellent, man. Looking forward to seeing you next week, and appreciate everything you've done, both for the immediate needs as well as everything you've done over the last 8+ years in helping to further the community and culture, and remind people that cannabis isn't bad, it isn't negative, but it's also as much about community impact as it is about being medicinal or therapeutic or just fun.
Yes. No, and thank you. And that's just something I forgot. One of them is that our host, even though he himself is not a cannabis consumer, believes in all of the things that you're saying, and that's why he's coming to show or to host for us. Funny motherfucker, D Smooth Shabazz. D Smooth is he's a local MC and content creator, community leader, and thought leader, and all around funny ass dude. And he saw the effort. Shout out to Remrod for the referral, and he saw the opportunity, and so he's going to be carrying us along with the funny all night while I host y'all at the Bud Bar. I'll be the co-host, so me and D Smooth will be keeping everybody moving.
That's awesome, man. Looking forward to it. We love to see outside support. I was one of those people for a long time. I got into cannabis because of people like Charlotte Figi. I got in through the medical route, was not a consumer or anything like that. Didn't use it for my own needs. It was just advocating for the fact that I saw something that worked for other people. And the more I learned, the more I realized that, white people problems. We for real, we often don't know what we don't know until we're faced with our own ignorance. And
that's real, man.
The greatest things in my life outside of my kids that have ever happened to me have all been someone holding up a mirror and showing me how wrong or ignorant I was about something, because that's the way that I grow. And I think that if more people were able to kind of be reflective and learn earnestly and listen without trying to find holes and just listen to listen, I think that we'd all be significantly happier and more helpful, because it's really hard to listen to someone like you speak about your personal experience and what's going on in your community and sit there and be like, yeah, but. Well, there is no yeah, but. There is no yeah, but. It's
make that
it's
a t-shirt.
Just
no yeah, but.
It just is what it is, and everybody deserves to be safe and happy and live in a house that isn't falling down around them. And it's unfortunate that sometimes money and location mean a lot more to safety, even at a public access level, than it ever should.
Yeah. Well said, man. Seriously.
I really do truly. I know every time we get together and we talk, it seems like I'm your Flavor Flav. I'm just in the back hyping you up and stuff. But I do truly appreciate everything you've done. You've been such a tremendous leader, both in thought and in execution, from before I met you through now. That I just appreciate what you do, and I love seeing the support from you and the people around you. And so, time after time, whatever I can do to be helpful and help spread the word, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. And that is an echo of a vibe I've always felt. Always love your support. Always love your clarity and using your gifts to try to just give the information to the people, man. I really appreciate it. Much love to you, bro.
And don't forget, August 21st, Thursday, 6 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $50. Get them online at jointeffortstl.org. We'll have some links to some of the organizations and some of the sponsors below.
Ayo, what up? I let you know when we come through. Ayo, the lightning struck. My thoughts corrupt. I tamper with the sights from graft and interrupt the readings. And self-destruct, proceeding in the worst way. Shaking, making an earthquake. Ayo, we do it till it stops burning. We rock out until daylight's morning. When Avengers form at night. You feel the vibe in your vein. It's hard to fight. The funk will swoop you up and carry you off into the night.
I wake up into the sunlight. Forever souls to shine bright. Like last night, I sat back and watched the stars light up. Being right up on the scene, right? For new dawns, I learn a lesson. Not a day without the focus sight. These kids hype, I recite, brightest percentage, but expose itself deeper than the mirrored images found through intangible sound. Gotta sign me the opus of object. You feel the sound of sight to see.
Nefarious, find me where the party is. Among the hardiest of MCs out here, always trying to rock the audience with audible arguments. Listen, close and clear as our sounds penetrate your eardrums. It's the